this beautiful monument, the Mosque Wazir Khan, built by Hakim Ilmuddin, has an outstanding feature of this sort of fresco work. In any other place or in any other mosque inside Lahore, you will not see such a huge range of this sort of work. The flowers, the buckets, the baskets, fruits and everything. Many historians, they also say that Hakim Ilmuddin was influenced by Surah Rahman, and on the pattern of those surahs, this mosque has been decorated with different gifts of God, like fruits, flowers, vegetables and different things. So you see, this is first of its kind in Pakistan and the only of its kind in Pakistan. People from many other parts of Pakistan and the world, they come here to see the beauty of this mosque. But on the same side, there are some negligences. As the Mosque Wazir Khan is under the Department of Awqaf in Punjab, we also see some of the damages which you can see here. The works are not being maintained, and you can see the water ingress and the open wiring to some extent. But still, the beautification and the versatility of the mosque stands there till today. And despite much damage to it, with hanging of these sort of fans and chandeliers and electricity, having open electricity wires running around the mosque, it still holds in itself the beauty of the old ages and old times when Hakim Ilmuddin constructed this mosque with immense love and pleasure. So let me take you to another chamber of this mosque. The mosque's distinguishing architectural feature is the use of minarets at each of its four corners. The first time such a design was employed in Lahore by the architects of Mughal era. The prayer hall, as you can see, follows the one easel five-way motif that was first established in Lahore a generation earlier at the Maryam Zamani Mosque, which was later to find its full expression in Badshahi Mosque, built by Emperor Aurangzeb half a century later. Much of the mosque is constructed of cut and dressed brick decorated with glazed tile mosaic. I must tell you that this mosque is the best example of calligraphy and fresco work which is decorating the main chambers of the mosque. It is no doubt a must-seeing heritage site in Lahore. And every year groups of foreigners come to visit this mosque. It is also a fact that internationally this mosque is taken up as a case study by history and architecture students. Almost 7,000 people can offer prayers inside the mosque. A curious feature of the mosque is the incorporation of 22 shops into its ground plan. Situated on either side of the entrance hall, these shops form a bazaar with a brick-paved passage in between. Similarly, hujras and shops were outside the mosque and on the northern wall of the mosque. These shops were encroached by several vendors, but almost 2 years ago, these were vacated and now restored by the Walled City of Lahore Authority, Aga Khan Trust for Culture, with the help of Norwegian Embassy and US Ambassador's Fund. This place is now being developed into a crafts bazaar. So the shops which we can see inside the mosque, which is known as the Bazaar Wazir Khan, were the shops where the students would live, the calligraphy classes would go on, the students were taught different Islamic teachings and writing styles and painting and calligraphy and so on. This bazaar is now being converted into the offices of the Awqaf department, but I hope that these are also restored to their original glory someday. Similarly, the front facade of the mosque and the open space outside it had several encroachments which were removed by the authority. Previously, the mosque was hidden behind these encroachments and ugly transformers, but now, while taking a tour of the Royal Trail, you can easily look at this jewel of Lahore at once as you cross Chitta Gate. You can say that this was sort of a residential mosque. These rooms which you can see are on both sides of the mosque, and these were used for students. They would live here, and these were used as hostels rather. And the students would come here to learn different arts, calligraphy, Quranic verses, and even to become a hafiz. They would live in these rooms, and classes would be conducted here. But now you can see these are quite in a dilapidated condition, and you can't see complete maintenance of these rooms. These are dumped with debris and converted into a junkyard, which is something sorry. And I think this should be maintained by the local authority as well, as Awqaf is looking after this mosque. So they must maintain each and every bit of it. Secondly, this mosque, if we wish, we can turn it into the largest tourist hub in Lahore. You will not see any souvenir shop, you will not see any welcoming signboard, you will not see any tourist information center inside this mosque, which is sad. Anywhere in the world you go, you see such things. You see signages, you see different tourist centers, you see tourist information centers, you see different souvenir shops. But here, not just here, I think everywhere in Lahore or Pakistan, we are missing such things. We need to work on these elements if we want our monuments to live and if we want to make tourism grow in Pakistan. This beautiful masterpiece of Mughal era, 17th century era, is a must-see heritage site. Trust me, if you come here, you'll be lost in the variety of colors and the beautiful tile mosaic and fresco works you'll find inside this mosque. This can be turned into a largest tourist hub, but we have to promote it, we have to strive a little hard for doing that. Because somehow in Pakistan, we are not very tourism friendly. We do not have a culture of promoting tourism and preserving our heritage by developing tourism. So I think this is something which we are lacking. But on the other hand, many authorities are now coming into the field of tourism and working to promote the monuments, different heritage sites and different architectural pieces which are the remains of Mughal, Sikh or British era in Lahore. And so this is one of the remains too. But it should not be dealt as just one monument. This is something special. If you come here, then only you'll get to know why I say it is something special. So now I'm waiting for you to come here and look at this piece of architecture, a wonderland, and then I'll be waiting for your feedback. So till next episode, goodbye.